Ladies and gentlemen, it is my favorite time of the year. The Houston Garden Center is having a 70% off plant sale because we are starting to move into the fall/winter. So today I'm gonna try and buy as many cool native and tropical plants that are hardy in Houston, Texas, Zone 9, and overall make over my garden with all on sale plants. Before we get started, always remember, Earth is my planet.
Earth is my planet.
So palm number one that I'm going after is the Chinese windmill palm, which is a Trachycarpus fortunei. Now these are $120 retail, so I think they'll be like $36. So I am gonna grab two of these bad boys. They like shade and they are hardy in the cold in Houston. So this is gonna be my first acquisition, I do believe. Now the next tree I am purchasing is going to be a tree I'm not the biggest fan of, which are crepe myrtles, because they're just spammed throughout the landscape normally. However, there's no native tree in the Houston area that I know of, at least, that has this color foliage. So I do love a dark color foliaged tree. Crepe myrtles do extremely well, so I am gonna grab a red hot black diamond crepe myrtle. This one is almost single trunked already, and so I do like a single trunk on a crepe myrtle. So I am gonna grab one of these, and I might plant it in my hell strip where everything else is green and I need a pop to different highs of the color palette. So yeah, let's grab one up. So to help me create a tropical vibe in the backyard and add some flair in shady areas, I am gonna grab some flax lilies. These are $5 a pop. Normal retail is about 20 bucks. So yeah, man, I'm gonna grab probably like 3 of these guys.
All 3 of y'all.
I also am gonna grab these amaryllis because there's a variety of colors and they're $4 a pop, and they also do have that tropical looking foliage, which I like. So I'm gonna try and find ones that have cool colored flowers. Yeah, such as this one, and it already has like 3 plants in one pot. Look at that tequila sunrise color scheme on the second one. I'll grab that Tinkerbell as well. So I also am gonna grab a couple more canna lilies. These are priced at $12, they're 2 gallons, but I love the ones that have both the burgundy and the slime lime green colors. I know there's a name for that, I just can't think of it at the moment, but I'm gonna grab a good amount of these, even though the picking of the litter is kind of sparse, but this dude also is kind of piped up and striped up. So I'm gonna grab these, and I think the lime green ones and maybe another burgundy. So probably 4 total, each one will be like $3. Now last is certainly not least, I'm gonna grab one native plant species because they don't have a lot of native plants here, period. But these guys at this size are normally not this price. So for $69, hello, 21 for me today. I'm gonna get what they call the holly pyramid, which makes no sense. This is a Yopon holly. It is a native plant, tons of red berries that the birds love. Y'all can see, maybe there's a red berry right there. And most of the plants they sell at the Houston Garden Center are tropical, so they will get mollywopped, destroyed, obliterated by the cold snaps that we get in Houston, Texas. This guy will stay evergreen. It feeds birds. It's beautiful, a small tree-like form. So I'm gonna grab probably 2. Actually, no, I'm gonna grab 3 of these guys.
All 3 of y'all.
Because you normally cannot find them at this price, and I've never seen them have big Yopons before. So I'm gonna grab 3. We're gonna see about this whole digging session that's about to occur, but that'll be the hardest work today. But overall, for this size, this price, I need to get them, especially for the birds, man. So this one is a healthy kind of single trunk. I'm gonna grab that guy. This dude kind of has a nice single trunk as well, and then this one is multi-trunked and kind of tall. So those are probably the selections I'm gonna make. They're just pruning these weird to try and make them a pyramid shape, which is an obscure obsession I guess someone had with that. Okay, y'all, so the truck is loaded up. I spent $180, I do believe, on a ton of plants. Now with the palms especially, I'm excited about that because palms are pretty slow growing. So getting some at this size for this price is ideal. I might honestly come back and buy a couple more in the future, but for now, the hardest task is upon me, and that is digging holes and planting these big ass plants. All right, so let's get back to the crib and get started. Okay guys, so I'm back in the backyard, and this video isn't only a clearance plant shopping video, but this is gonna be a tropical backyard makeover, obviously starting with these 10-gallon palms. Now, as I mentioned, probably the hardest part is going to be digging the holes. So we're just gonna start right now and what I surmise will be a place I can dig a big enough hole, and that'll be in front of this elephant ear. And ideally I want this palm to grow and block the house behind me. Now I do have one of these palms in the corner of my yard, and that's how I know it's cold hardy, and I overall know what the shape will look like and how gorgeous these trees get over time. So let's go ahead and see if we can't dig ourselves 2 big ass holes. Big assholes? Pause! But yeah, the soil was actually kind of malleable, which was nice.
Nice!
Hopefully the palm fits. So the Chinese windmill palm is one of the very rare specimens that can grow in part shade, full sun, is moderately sized, and cold hardy. It also looks really cool, so it checked off all the boxes for me. All right guys, so we have one of the Chinese windmill palms in the ground, and actually digging the hole wasn't as bad as I thought. But with that being said, I'm gonna try and put another one underneath the canopy of this large oak tree in the corner. So I dug this hole near the edge of my bed because my dogs run right along the fence line and probably would have trampled this tree to death. So the hole isn't quite big enough, but I'm gonna make it fit. Now Chinese windmill palms can grow in zones 7 to 11, wow. So they have a pretty nice range. That actually fit perfectly. Perfect. I can't believe that, dude. What the hell? Now where I'm from, we call that divine serendipity. So there we have it. We got one palm in the ground and yet another one. So both are in the ground. I kind of wish I would have got 3 or 4 of these dudes now that I've realized that digging the hole isn't as hard as I thought it might be. With that being said, obviously after I plant things, I do like to mulch the area. And so I just use a leaf mulch. This is kind of like half broken down piles of leaf mulch. It has worms in it. It has some compost in it. That was just me stacking up piles and piles of leaves over an entire year. And then I use that around the base of the trees that I plant just to cover the soil, prevent weed seeds from popping up, and obviously to add a bit more nutrition to the soil area so that way the roots can suck it up. So the next plants we're throwing in are the second largest on my native plant tip. They are the Yaupon hollies, and these are actually the female rendition. So the dwarf Yaupon hollies are almost always males, so they don't produce berries for birds. But the big pappies, or the big mammies, the big mommies in this case, are berry producers. So they already have a couple of red berries coming in. As you guys see, I have one of these planted against my fence line. They are evergreen, so I want to put the other ones in gaps where I have deciduous trees. That way in the wintertime, the jungle still looks pretty green. I just overall want that fence to be covered or at least broken up by foliage in the winter, spring, summer, and fall. So all 4 seasons, I want to be sure that I feel isolated. So we're gonna see if we can pull that off and utilize the Yaupon hollies to their best and fullest extent. So the first area we're gonna throw one in is right behind my mulberry tree, which was a 1.5 foot transplant and now is super tall. So I'm gonna put it in this big gap right here because it will grow as well, get about 15 feet, and hopefully dilute this area's just wooden fence line and make things feel a little bit more tropical and unstoppable. So look here now, pro tip, always dig holes right after a rain. The hole digging process was super simple. I plugged in the Yaupon holly, and just to remind y'all, these are native to the US from Virginia all the way down to Florida, pretty much everywhere in the Southeast. And finding a specimen like this for 21 bucks was really nice. So I'm gonna throw in the second Yaupon holly right here next to my Osmanthus fragrans. Oh God. So ideally I would dig these holes bigger and deeper. There's so many roots back here. I gotta do what I can, man. Now another fun factoid about Yaupon hollies is you can brew their leaves into a tea because the leaves contain caffeine. Yeah. Now Yaupon number 3 that I purchased, which now I want even more, is going to go right next to this gate on this back corner by my oak tree. Now my dog does frequently run back and forth, just being a menace to society. I'm gonna put this here. I know it'll get tall. It'll eventually cover up the fence in this portion, which is the one remaining area that I don't have something big that will grow to obscure it. So we have the big boys in the ground, and now it's time to throw in the next plants. which are going to be the flax lilies. These are actually native to Tasmania, so they do need a hot subtropical climate to thrive in. Luckily in Houston, for the majority of the year, we can provide that. So these guys I'm gonna use to line the edges of the bed, because the edges of the bed along this little makeshift brick wall do receive more light than the fence line. So we're gonna add a nice pop of this color in different regions of the garden, because the garden definitely needs a pop of lighter green. So wherever there are seas of monochromatic green, such as this section right here, which honestly looks pretty lush and full, vibrant, I'm gonna place the flax lily right in front of it to add a little pop of lighter color. So the ultimate goal of the backyard is to have a crazy lush jungle aesthetic, and in jungles you have a variety of colors, textures, and I just want to keep things as interesting as possible. Now flax lilies can grow in zone 7 all the way to 11, and they're cold hardy to about 20 degrees. If it gets extremely cold, they'll die to the ground and then re-emerge. Now this area right here was in desperate need of a different color palette and texture, so I plopped this flax lily right in the front of the bed. And of course you can divide these as they grow over time and redistribute them throughout the garden, baby. Yeah. Now they love a hot and humid environment, and that's why they're perfect for Houston, Texas, where it is always hot, it is always humid, and it does rain frequently enough to sustain the water needs of the flax lilies. So while I was throwing in this flax lily, I did dig up some of my shrimp plant, and it does have roots. So I'm gonna bury this elsewhere in the yard and get some more shrimp plants going as well, adding some flowers in the tropical garden. Why not add some free plants while we're adding clearance plants? Come on. Okay, so the shrimp plants are native to Mexico. So these dudes actually are perfect for my garden because they still attract a ton of insect life of North America. And I'm just legit shoving the stems in the ground in some idyllic like situations. This dude will spread, which is perfect for me because it adds a nice burst of red flowers, and it'll create a really cool looking ground cover as well. Yes. So we have the flax lilies all in the ground. We have the shrimp plants distributed. It'll be a minute before they take off. And now I'm gonna throw in the cannas. Now this one is like Canna of the Nile or Kaleidoscope Canna or some shit, dude. I honestly can't remember off the top of my head. And then you also have kind of the slime variegated lime green one as well. Then I also have a burgundy. So I am just gonna distribute them all throughout the back. And one is gonna hit this corner right here, and I think it's gonna be the Kaleidoscope. So cannas are just a great filler plant for any tropical like garden, and what's cool is even if snow comes and freezes occur, these will re-emerge from the roots. They also do slowly spread, so you really don't need to buy all too many. You just dig them up and can place them wherever you would like. And they add a nice differentiation of color in the garden, which is what I like. So height, color, and hardiness. So as a little garden update, y'all, a few months ago I purchased this giant alien, and I'm gonna put him in the yard. I just wanted to get a clip of me doing this because this guy is absolutely epic. So yeah, just to draw further attention to myself in my yard, we have to put an alien in it. And I think I'm gonna stack it on these cinder blocks, put a chain through its legs and around it. That way no one can steal it without having to drag 3 cinder blocks, which will be about impossible. So for right now, let me figure out where I'm gonna place this dude. I think he's gonna be right in front of the pine tree. So I do like having my yard a bit whimsical, as you can see. So this giant alien that I purchased in Oklahoma was ideal. I'm gonna decorate it for all the holidays, and it's pointing back to its home star longingly. So I'm ashamed to admit that a month has gone by since I put all the plants in the ground except for the crepe myrtle. So I have to end this video when the sale is pretty much done. So my apologies on the delay, but with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in the crepe myrtle right where I did have a lime green yellow pond holly that did not make it through the summer's drought. So let's go ahead and get a hit of purple in right here in the front garden bed, and yeah, conclude this vid. So let's get it. So I think because this is kind of a standout showstopper of a plant, why not have it right next to my standout alien? All right. The purple will also go really nice with the wandering dude, the Tradescantia pallida that I have just trailing off to the right of the alien. So it'll be purple, green, Classic color scheme. Now I do want to make it a single trunked crepe myrtle, which is pretty hard to do with all the suckers that'll shoot up, but I have faith in myself to have this just to be a single trunk, clean looking crepe myrtle, black, red diamond, whatever the official name is. Let's cut that other stem off. One trunk. Hey, I can probably propagate this guy as well. And all right, y'all, so the crepe myrtle is in the ground and we're concluding this video 3 months after I started shooting it. So I severely apologize for the delay on this channel. I have been doing a lot, going through a lot, and yeah, my bad, y'all. But basically, we got all the plants in the ground. This was supposed to release originally the week I bought all the plants, so all my Houston gardeners could know where to get the hookup. But that is completely my bad. Just mark your calendars for November of this upcoming year. All right, with that being said, everything did survive the snow that occurred in Houston, and that includes the flax lily. So everything is popping up with new growth, and spring is about to be upon me. So just stay tuned, lock in. I got a lot more videos from the last 3 months that I have yet to edit and release. So until next time, always remember, Earth is my planet.
Earth is my planet.
See ya.
Killing these songs, leaving a bloody life I roost to. And I'm in it to win it, so I'm somebody that you should get used to.